Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. This is going to be the third video, I think, on this Honda CT70 that was sitting, pretty much a barn find that sat for a long time, 30, 40 years or so. It's a 72, I believe. These are street legal. The last video, we got it running decent. Did the carb, didn't have any parts to put in it. We do have that now, but we were able to get it running with what we had. We're gonna go and revisit some of that stuff and start working probably from the inside out. I did some shopping. We have new tires, tubes, new battery, tune-up kit, carb kit, air filter, taillight, levers, cable kit, grips, chain and sprockets. This is the tool for removing the magneto. Looks like it's got two different sizes on it that you can use. You can get that magneto off of there and get the tune-up parts in. And nope, this is for Carmagia. Those are throttle cables, so they don't count. Give me a second, we're gonna get organized and we'll start getting into it. I think we'll start with the battery, because that's got to sit for a while. We'll get that filled up. The bike does not require a battery. There we go, I knew I was gonna do that. A battery for spark. Thought it did. It's mostly just for lights, but this bike is going to be street legal. No, mostly street legal. So we're definitely going to have lights. I don't know if I have a small 6-volt charger. I have those battery maintainers. They might. I think one of those might switch from 6 to 12. I think you're supposed to let the battery sit after you fill it with fluid for probably till you don't see any bubbles. Whoops. Don't get that on your skin. Or your clothes. I don't think it matters on what I'm wearing right now, huh? Gets the stuff on your clothes and then you think it's okay and then you do laundry. And it looks like moths got you. I'm sure you think you used it all up. Alright, we'll let that sit for a little bit. Wait for that stuff to kind of go away. Yeah, all he's got is a 12 volt rather charger, a trickle charger. Let's get that out of there. So maybe what I'll try doing is take a test light. We'll put a test light in series, try to knock down some of the voltage going to it. Get that fuel line over there too. So I'm going to shake you guys. Just back you up a little so you're not touching the bench. Get rid of the gloves. I hate working with gloves. I don't know if I mentioned it too. I got a seat and seat cover coming too. That should be tomorrow. The total cost on parts so far was about 400 bucks, right around there. We're into it. Let's go do that carb. We should be all set. Again, if anybody wants to see that, you can just go look at the previous video. It was the same thing, just with new parts in it. I believe these two are going to be left over for the throttle cable, the slide, when it goes in. We should probably change that cable also while we're doing this now. All the old stuff I just threw back in the kit so that the next carburetor that I have that has an issue, at least we have something to try to get it running with. I never throw them away. Hoarder. Back here over on the battery, it's probably been about 45 minutes. Most of the air bubbles are out of it, but I'm getting impatient. So I threw it on a trickle charger. I did not have a 6-volt charger, so what I did was I had a 12. There's the 12. And I decided to just, you got to drop the voltage somehow. So I just used a test light. So ground, just went to ground on the battery from the charger. And then on the hot side of the battery, here's the hot side, it goes into a test lead through the battery, through the test light, then to the positive side. So you're splitting, roughly half the voltage there and half the voltage on a test light. Then I have a meter set up on it there and there to read what's going across the battery, and it's at 6.3 volts, which is pretty good. Again, you want to bring a battery up nice and slow. It helps with the longevity of it. So we'll let that do its thing, and we'll go back to something else. Alright, do you want to fix the wiring next, or do you want to go for that throttle cable? This one works, but it's just slow. Should probably do this. We'll do this, and we'll get the carburetor on there so we know that that part is done. Let's see about sneaking this thing out of here. We got new grips too, but you can see it doesn't exactly spring back to life. So guys are asking about the other orange bike that I was going to say I was going to use for parts for that bike, and that still may or may not happen. Why I picked the other one, I don't know. It just seemed like it was more complete. It had the carb and everything on it, and the, you know, more of a correct back wheel. And I thought it was a little less damaged in the this area here as far as rust is concerned. But this one may come back to life too. So having said that, I don't think we're going to steal the handlebars off of this, at least not yet, because the ones on there are really toast. So we may just wait on what we need on this, you know, getting fenders and stuff we may grab, because we don't have a choice. But I got another option. And that other option is this bike with no engine at all. It's got wheels on it, got a torn seat, rusty, front fender's rusty on it. But I think we're going to go and maybe start with these handlebars. I know they're bent, but they're not as bent as the ones that are on there. So I'm going to do my best to get those guys off of there, the knobs. Right there. It's like someone was chomping on them, huh? A critter. And back in the office. I'm going to strip the cables off and that switch. Get that switch off of there. And we'll see about cleaning them up the best we can, because we're going to have to do some bending back on these also. But they seem better than what's on there. The ones that are on there are really, you know. Johnny went over a few times as a kid. Working on those bars, stripping them down. I got the one grip off. I used the heat gun, I was able to get it. I don't think they're original, but I kind of wanted to save them if I could. They're fairly brittle, but maybe a little hot water soaking might bring them back. The other one though, not having it. That's one with the throttle on it, so I may have to go slice that one off of there. If I didn't have to change the cable, I would have left it alone with the cables kind of showing beatness to it, and I have a new one. And I'm pretty sure you have to get it all apart to get to the end of the cable where it's on a cam under this grip. I'm not quite sure what that looks under there, but we're going to find out soon. I actually went to try and get more of it off, work it a little bit more. I hit it with the heat gun, turned the heat gun back on, and the heat gun died. So I took that as an omen that we're going to go slice it and take it off. That's that. And we got a pin right here. And that should allow us to slide that whole thing back. Yeah, this all needs to be cleaned up anyway. There's a cam. I don't know if you can see it. There's a thread inside here, a metal thread. And it pulls on that right there. So we're going to get that out of there. We'll get the cable off. Remember how that goes, right? Yeah, just get the cable out. Get the plug out of it too. I think what we'll do is we'll clean them up. Well, you look up there. We'll clean them up, and then we'll just kind of stick them on the bike, and we'll do our best to manipulate them so that I'm gonna go stab myself in the hand. Excuse me. So that the position is the best for what I'd like. That's all right. Come on. Another screw there. Another screw right there. Get out of the cam. don't think you are going to want to cooperate. Because you're doing it wrong. You are just doing it wrong. It is not a screw. It is a slide. You need to slide the cable up out of. I think. This blind old man can't see. Hold on. What am I looking at? It's got a tube in it. Let's get the metal sleeve of the cable that goes in through the center of it. So that's got to go back. How am I going to get that back? By pulling on the cable. But I bet you that's frozen. The jacket has to come back. Maybe. I'm going to work on that. You stay right there. Somewhat like a bicycle cable. Just needs the jacket to slide back. Then the cable can lift straight up and out of it. We've got to figure out how to get that jacket to move back. Can we spread that? What are we gonna do? I don't want to bash the end of it over, you know? Like, see the end of it right there. If you guys can. I'm looking right on the end of it there. Let's try a little more. Move for me, come on. Instead, the screwdriver's just sticking into it. Yeah, what am I missing? Let's go look at the new cable. Make sure that that thing's not like threaded in or something. Not that I still have the capacity to get that out of there. Right, there's no other way to get that out right now. Well, that comes out, that can come straight up. No ifs, ands, or buts. Yep. The cable, it's got threads. If you lift up on it, it'll slide forward. Sometimes you miss it by that much. Yeah. Well, that's how she's gonna go come apart. Now that I bashed on the threads, right? Let's go grab it. Oh, hey, it's a learning curve and everything, right? Now we know. We now know how that. Let's put that on. You threaten it for a while, and then it decides to tell you how it goes together. You just start thinking about it. Hey, you're in the way. You gotta move over. Let's see what it takes to crack the old ones loose. We'll do is leave everything hooked up. We'll just drop down over the front. Should probably take that speedo out of there too. So the idea with those is you could bend the handlebars, flip them around so that you could store the spike in very tight quarters in your trunk. That looks a little on the too far inside to me. Clean them up on the wire wheel, so a little bit. Yeah, that's that's pretty close together. They're a lot closer than the ones that were on it. I think they stand a better chance of getting made straight. Yeah, they're really kind of, at least they're more center over the bike. Yeah, it's like a pipe wrench action from 1974 crash. I just changed your battery. What do you think? You want to try to bend them cold, or you want to heat them? You heat them, they're going to get really just the color distorted. I don't know. Maybe we can try throwing a pipe on them and see if we can get a little bit of influence. But when you guys got to hold the bike, help steady it. I'll throw straps on it. So I brought the bike down. That's what we have now. They're twisted like that, and again, too close together. And this bike over here, you see the distance apart, almost straight up. I would say that's much closer to what it's supposed to be. Let's go start with that part of it first. If it was a little closer together, I could actually take my jack, collapse it all the way in, and stick it between the two handlebars and try spreading it like that, an even spread. I don't think that's gonna. Yeah, we're not gonna get. We got to bend it open a little bit first before you can try that. Let's give it a try. I have this bar. It just so happens to have a cut taken out of it. So can we use that to help us, or is that going to hurt us? You choke up on it a little more. That's all we're going to get. Let's see what happens. We stop on that one right now. I'm going to go back to the other one. I don't know if this pipe's going to clear the workbench. What do you think? Definitely got a lot more to go yet, huh? I don't know if I could shove something to pull against, you know? Or add another person, but maybe put like a bar between here. Yeah, that might be a good idea. I hope you can see, because I'm guessing that you're looking at what I'm doing. Is this what I want? Yeah, I should take that gauge off. I don't know, we could probably go with that jack in between now. Want to try that idea? I think that'd be enough to get in there. What do you think? Let's give that a shot. Let's pad this thing up first. Gonna make it? We're gonna make it. There we go. A little even persuasion. This is gonna work great. It's gonna totally fail. It's gonna spread up and just launch out of there and take the light out. How's that for a prediction? Once I get past that neutral position. See how much it springs back. Yeah, we got a little more. That's pretty good. I don't know exactly what it is supposed to be from the factory, you know, as far as are they straight up, are they tilted in a little? I seem to remember them kicked in a little, but that just might be from every single one of them having a crash, you know? Go see how we like it. Good decision from there. That's actually pretty good. One look higher. This one a little higher. Do some fine tweaking, right? Actually, probably got to square the bike up first. Let me do a little bit of aligning. It's kind of hard to tell because everything is so, the headlights facing one direction, the fenders, you know, flapping in the breeze. But looking over the front tire, it feels pretty good. right where it is. So I think the next thing we should probably do is right here, they're still kind of, you know, they're pointy on the sides from where it got bent. So I think maybe we should take it out and we'll put it in the vise to see if we can just kind of crush it a little right here to help round this out, and then we'll put them back on for any final tweaking. Yeah, try to get the strength back in it, because the more flat that this is, easier once to bend next time. But if we can get it back to, you know, round shape, you know what I'm talking about. Let's see if we can see if we can push right on there to help push that out. Catch that. And there. Right there. That looks better. And get some 2019 marks in it. And go a little more right there. We're going to leave it well enough alone. The more I'm going to mess with it now, the more mess I'll make out of it. So I got the bars back on. I put a bar on top of it, just trying to see for final. If you look at this one, it's pretty much a straight line going across, no air gap. If you look at this one, you see it's touching on the outer part, and then you get an air gap going through. I said look at it. There you go. I'm going to go tweak that one down just a little bit. Yes, you would be correct in surmising that the angle that they get there, both of them take a slightly different track on the way up, but they both are pointing where they're supposed to be up here, so I'm calling it good. Good. And checking on the battery, it's at 6.5 volts right now. It's pretty much back together. That collar, it's got a screw hole in it. That screw has to come back out to still capture that one. But this is all cleaned out on the inside. I'm not going to put lube on it yet, because I want to see how it is. Sometimes that attracts more dirt than it hurts. So if it doesn't have any problem, I'm going to leave it alone. If not, we'll just come back later and shoot some in. That should be that. Let's see if we get the end of that cable on there. I thought that was going to be a new ring for the top. So do we got one we got to pick out of there? I figure what was coming off the other end, there was paint. Come on. Come on out, I say. Watch them galling it, nothing. Just like nothing there. They're just beating the crap out of it. I think there is. I think it's just so disintegrated. Let me work on that. There we go. Yeah, it's gonna break off on me every. Should just left it there. Doing more damage scratching the crap out of it than we are. That went smooth, didn't it? It'd be funny if I turned around and I lost the gasket. Alright. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Now this one will drop it. Come on through, the jacket all the way through. Sometimes there's an adjuster inside here. One side or the other, it'll be in probably inside there. For adjusting the length of the cable. And I'm not sure what pin we're on. I'm gonna leave it where it is. The pin's adjustable. This pin I just launched this frame. That pin is adjustable, and the more, let's say the other way around. This is the carburetor. You rev the gas, the thing lifts up. This pin allows more fuel to come in. This allows more air to come in. It opens the path here for air. This allows a path for fuel. You can adjust this pin up and down. There's a little clip that's inside there, and there's like 4 different spots. You could change that to add more or less fuel to make it richer or leaner. So we're gonna leave it right where it was because it's all the same components going back together. If we find later on that we are having an issue, at that time we'll address it. So we're just gonna go shove all that back in. That's how it goes. We didn't lose our gasket, did we? No. And if we turn our throttle, woohoo! So we went from working on the carburetor and just wanting to chase the throttle cable and fix that to restoring the front end. So I'm going to start deviating away from that. We're not going to continue with putting all that together. I kind of planned on doing that in its own. Sometimes it's just the way it goes. I want to continue the path that I set out, which was trying to get it back together and running, you know, work from the center out. So I think the next thing we should be dealing with is those broken wires that go to that plug right there. See if we can get that stuff fixed, and then we can get the gas tank back in it. Air cleaner, because it kind of all fits together, you know, the air cleaner assembly kind of goes up under the frame. So I want to put all that together with the carb, throttle cable, but I want to fix those wires before I do any of that. Yeah, fuel lines, you guys snake the fuel lines down through there. I think I could do this without shaking you to death. You guys are actually on the lift. I just got some twisted together, soldered, and just coming back with the soldering iron to tighten up the shrink tubing. One side. Yeah, I know. I had a lot of yellow. But they start out the correct color and end at the same color, so that's good. Probably have some electrical tape on them. That should be good, but I'm sure we got patches to do. And there's other stuff that has a questionable outlook on it. We're going to tuck that back in, and I think probably the next thing we can get the gas can in there. Air cleaner, then gas can. That's it. Yeah, let's check on the battery. 6.5. The next thing is to wrestle with the air cleaner. I've been soaking the rubber pieces in hot water to hopefully try to get them a little bit more pliable for when they go in. Seems like it's helping some. It was stiff as a brick before. That one too. I started squeezing the air cleaner housing in there. I was like, well, should I run the 2 gas lines? I believe they come out right here. Should I probably try and run them first, put the tank in and run those? You know? Probably, huh? Yeah, why don't we go try doing that? I have a feeling that's going to be the bigger fight. See how well this goes. For some reason I have a feeling a hammer is going to be involved, but let's see how it goes. I already got the 2 hoses started. I got one of those started. And I lost one. I marked reserve. That was way too uneventful. I must have missed some. That went too well. Alright, no complaints. Now the air cleaner won't fit in, right? Alright, try that one again. And should we probably go down underneath the coil wire? believe all that stuff just sits down there. Yeah. A tad tighter than the first time. Here it goes. I think. Go, baby, go. We in? We're close. Feels like we're smashing into something. I'm calling it good. Now we got to get the fun part starts now. Well, instead of me trying to tuck all those pieces in between the air cleaner and the body, I'm just going to take the intake off and we'll stack all that stuff together and see if we can kind of slide the whole thing as one unit and then re-bolt down. Like a better idea? Hope so. I take the tank bag out. I'm just getting ahead of myself. I'm putting spring clamps on that. This stuff over time gets hard and then it can leak. It's a tight fit onto there, but over time they harden up, and I've seen them leak. So I got that boot in there. This is the one I put in the hot water. That really helps a lot. As long as it doesn't rip out of there when we put the carb on, which I think fits pretty good. Did the throttle go on the inside of that? You remember? That's where it's going. That's where we're putting it. Let's see if we can run that down. Actually, let's go. Here's where I messed it up. I'll leave it in. I was gonna pop the carb back out, put the slide in. Let's see. That is backwards. It worked too good that way. It works really good that way. It runs at full throttle. Nice, good fight this. Two bolts, so we can get that on there. Yeah, that was easier. Kind of want the air cleaner to, you know, the air cleaner and the exhaust both change how the carb is going to run, how the engine is going to run, and how the carb is going to be jetted. So until you really have everything back on it, it's not really going to. You're not going to be able to fine tune it. You get close, but you do a final when it's all buttoned up. Get the drag of the filter and all. I call that a win. The air cleaner is just a barrel. You see screen here, and then the boot for the intake on that side. And the air cleaner is just pretty much just a sponge. So that's going to go in like that from the other side. That foam will kind of rest up against there. It's got a little bit of support in the back, and then that just goes out there and encaps it, and then it sucks air through the frame and in. I know we got all the tune-up stuff we have to do yet, but that's okay. We're gonna see if we can put fuel in it and make sure that the fuel doesn't come out the other end. So we'll top her off. We'll top her off. We'll put some in it. How's that? We'll call that good just in case. In case it pours out the other end. The gas is off right now. We'll flip it to reserve. And one of these two lines should fill up. It should be the lower one. You see anything happen? I don't see anything. Just in case they're backwards, let's flip them around. I see a bubble moving on that one. That one's on. That one should be reserved. I'm not sure. I marked the one that said reserve on the tank, and hopefully I put it in the right spot. Maybe not. What we can do is you put it to the reserve position. We'll crack the bowl, and it should have fuel come out of it. And fuel continues to come out of it, and that means reserve is working. Good. How many kicks do you think? Gas is on. Throttle works. We're going to need a little screwdriver to tweak it when it does get going. So we shove that in the pocket. And that's the choke on. Key on. Gear. Yep, I just keep on kicking forever. Nothing to see here. Yeah, you still got the other tune-up parts to take care of. Points condenser, plug, set all that stuff. Still missing the nut in the backside, no exhaust. I think we'll get it. Seems like it wants to idle. A little finicky still. It's not dripping. Not that we've seen anyway, right? Happy with that. Good. Alright guys, it's getting late. I think we're going to wrap this one up. And tomorrow I'm going to get back at it again. And again, I'm just going to keep working out from the center. Fix all its problems, and at one point it'll be done. And it'll be cleaned up as, you know, as I take each piece off, we'll deal with it and clean it up, make them look pretty enough. I'm going to do my best to stay away from paint. I may paint the rims. See how they kind of clean up. Just because of just the way I am, the way I like them. So, alright guys, I want to thank you all for hanging out and have a little fun in the garage. Till then, I will see you later. Bye. Yeah, but can it do a burnout? Yeah, I think the rest of it was deal with spark. Plenty of fuel. It's just all that crap needs to be taken care of. I like it. So I ended up making a float adjustment and made the float level lower, so the fuel level is lower in it. Let's see how well I like that. There it goes again. I don't know if this is going to show up, but the fuel was overflowing. And what I think was happening, the gasket, so the bowl, the fuel actually comes in through the bowl, across, up and over, feeds in through this hole, and then down through here. But if you look, you can see the gasket is not sitting over the center of it. So I think what's happening is it was literally leaking fluid right through here. It wasn't the float level that was a problem. I think it's the gasket that is a problem. I'm going to dig out the old one. And then you put the original one on, and you can see it's right dead center over it. And that was a Honda part. It wasn't even a knockoff kit. It was a Honda gasket set. Just can't get good parts these days. Now I gotta reset my float. Alright. Third time a charm. Like that kitten. Go to a stalls. I was down to about 200 RPM. Turn it back up just a little bit. We're gonna leave it right there to get the exhaust on.